Hello and welcome everyone. This is Amhara Media Corporation, Amhara TV, and you're watching our daily news live from the studio. I'm Gaila Damu. Stay with us. Ethiopia Mission Director St. John's disclosed that TPLF terrorist group has looted warehouses of the USAID. The director also stated that America will continue its support to Ethiopia. Brian Workner reports.
Mission Director for the U.S. Agency for International Development in Ethiopia, St. John's, in an exclusive interview with ETV, stated that the terrorist TPLF group has looted warehouses and trucks which have been used for transporting humanitarian aid to Tigray region.
We are seeing a situation in which, particularly in Amhara, right now where the TPLF has expanded their very aggressive fight, and we know for a fact in Amhara now, we now know that the TPLF has every town that they've gone into, they've looted the warehouses, they've looted trucks, they have caused a great deal of destruction in all the villages they've visited.
The director stated that U.S. Agency for International Development is investing too much money to benefit Ethiopian brothers and sisters, and the government of America is very concerned about the recent misrepresentations and inaccurate reports by some of state-run media channels about the agency.
The United States government was very concerned about the recent, I think, misrepresentations and inaccurate reporting across some of the state-run media channels about USAID information, about USAID assistance in the country.
The director further stated that they are not operating in Ethiopia just because of the country is in crisis. Instead, the director said Ethiopia is one of the best partners anywhere in the world. He said U.S. Agency for International Development has invested $4.2 billion in the past 5 years.
This is the largest aid program in the entire world. And it's not just because Ethiopia is going through a challenging time. It's because Ethiopia is absolutely one of our finest and most important partners anywhere in the world. And that's why we invest in Ethiopia. So, for instance, just in the past 5 years, we have invested over $4.2 billion here, some of which is humanitarian assistance, but a lot of it is development assistance. When we're working hand in hand with our government partners and the Ethiopian people.
In his exclusive interview with ETV, the director said U.S. Agency for International Development has supported 3.5 million people out of Tigray region.
What we are seeing right now is a result of the U.S. government and the American people's commitment to the Ethiopian people when the Ethiopian people need a helping hand the most. So, for instance, in places that are outside of Tigray, we are providing emergency aid to 3.5 million Ethiopians. Again, this is outside of Tigray and the northern conflict. This is in places like Benishangul Gumuz and Oromia and Somali, SNNP, where communities are still struggling with conflicts, drought, could be desert locust, floods, whatever it might be.
Finally, the director stated that U.S. Agency for International Development is a big contributor to the government of Ethiopia to Productive Social Safety Net program, PSNP, so as to extricate 1.6 million people from poverty.
We also are a big contributor to the government of Ethiopia-led Productive Social Safety Net program. So the PSNP, we support 1.6 million people trying to escape from poverty. And we'll continue to support Ethiopians during their time of need.
Ethiopia has reiterated its historical and ongoing contribution to peacekeeping mission under the United Nations and African Union would continue. Abebe Brahani tells us more.
Speaking at the opening of a two-day virtual preparatory meeting of 2021 United Nations Peacekeeping yesterday, Defense Minister Qana'ya Deta said Ethiopia's contribution to peacekeeping and cooperation with the United Nations and the African Union has emanated from Ethiopia's strong belief and commitment to collective security. He noted that there are about 8,500 Ethiopian troops and police officers serving in various missions, making Ethiopia one of the largest troops contributing to United Nations and African peace operation. The minister noted that Ethiopia has a historical role since 1951 in peacekeeping mission globally, further reaffirming that the country will strengthen the maintenance of international and peace security. Defense Minister Qana'aya Detta said Ethiopia is determined to hasten the implementation of our shared commitments under the United Nations Secretary-General Action for Peacekeeping, and once again he would like to reiterate Ethiopia's historical, time-tested and ongoing commitment to the maintenance of international and peace security.
Let me once again reiterate Ethiopia's historical, time-tested and ongoing commitment to the maintenance of international peace and security.
The minister pointed out that, together with the African Union and IGAD, Ethiopia has also been engaged in different conflict situations in the sub-regions, notably in Somalia and Abyei. The country has also been executing its peacekeeping mission in Rwanda, Liberia, Burundi, Darfur, Abyei and South Sudan.
We are also actively engaged together with AU and IGAD on different conflict solutions, situations in our sub-regions, notably in Somalia and Abyei.
As peacekeeping is under tremendous pressure due to evolving security dynamics and increasing rationalizations of resources, he called for the adoption of new training and capacity building for peacekeepers to make them effective and responsive. He noted that following the evolving security environments and conflict dynamics, the effectiveness and responsiveness of peacekeeping operation depends on capacity of the blue helmet.
Ethiopia believes that ongoing investment in training and capacity building is needed to ensure that UN peacekeeping remains relevant, effective, and fit for purpose in the 21st century.
The Ethiopian community in Nuremberg, Germany have conducted a fundraising campaign to support the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and displaced people in Ethiopia. Fukradi Zaudu has the details.
According to spokesperson office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ethiopians have collected more than 1 million birr at the fundraising campaign. During the occasion, the Ethiopian community in Nuremberg pledged to give €1 per day permanently to support the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and displaced Ethiopians. Ethiopian ambassador to Germany, Mulu Solomon, has attended the campaign. It was indicated during the occasion that the Ethiopian diaspora have been actively participating in the ongoing national efforts to defend the country's survival and sovereignty. Ethiopians across the nation, including the diaspora community, have been actively mobilizing resources. Ethiopians have so far raised some 3 billion birr to support the Ethiopian National Defense Force in its effort to fight against the terrorist TPLF.
Ethiopian Agricultural Transformation Agency said it is working to compensate for the production gap that could follow the instability in Tigray region, northern and eastern parts of Amhara region, as well as northern Afar region. Ramet Adem has more.
Ethiopian Agricultural Transformation Agency Director General Mandefro Nuguse told to INA that transportation of agricultural inputs this harvesting season as well as related activities have been seriously affected in some parts of the country. He added that, therefore, the agency has prepared long-term and short-term recovery plan for the areas affected due to instability. He pointed out that if peace returns within a short period of time, the agency plans to cultivate crops like chickpea and veg, which could be cultivated at the end of the rainy season. He said the agency has already set agricultural recovery plan for Tigray region, adding that same would be done for Amhara and Afar regions. According to the Director General, the Ethiopian Agricultural Transformation Agency stands by to provide all the necessary support for farmers to enable them cultivate as soon peace is restored. Mandafro elaborated that if the war takes a long time, however, irrigation development would be used widely before the use of underground water in utilizing technology with the view to enhancing the production of irrigation by twofold. He further noted that the sector had faced challenges such as COVID-19 and fall armyworm a year ago. However, the sector was not highly affected as the agriculture development is not owned by few, but many farmer households that occupy massive land. The Director General pointed out that we have to change the challenges into opportunities by enhancing production in the sector, adding that rice and soybean development around Lake Tana, among others, is facing challenges. According to Mandafro, boosting wheat production, oil crops, and widening poultry farms are among the plans set to achieve food self-sufficiency. He explained that surplus wheat production can also be an input for the widely expanding agro-processing industry across the country. This in turn plays its role in achieving the nation's food supply. He stated that, similarly, increasing oil crops is part of the plan to substitute importing oil products with high foreign currency, adding that poultry farming is also part of the plan that plays a significant role in achieving the grand plan. The Director General stressed that, whatever the case, the nation needs to be food self-sufficient by utilizing its resources, experience and knowledge, not only to avoid dependency on imported wheat but also to export to other countries. Ethiopia has been importing on average 10 to 50 million quintals of wheat. That is about $300 to $400 million annually. About 50 million quintals of wheat is harvested annually in the country, but falls short of meeting the 60 to 65 million quintals demand.
National Bank of Ethiopia has introduced a contractionary monetary policy that will be effective as of yesterday. Abebe Burhani reports.
A contractionary monetary policy increases interest rates in order to slow the growth of the money supply and to bring down inflation. This can slow economic growth and even increase unemployment, but is often seen as necessary to cool down the economy and keep prices in check. Briefing journalists, National Bank of Ethiopia Deputy Governor or Chief Economist Fakadu Degafe said the revised tight monetary policy is aimed at limiting the amount of money in circulation in the economy in order to reduce inflation in the country. Accordingly, the revised monetary policy increased banks' reserve requirement from their outstanding deposit and lending rate of the National Bank of Ethiopia to banks from 5% to 10% and 13% to 16% respectively. He added, the revised monetary policy also obliges banks to deposit 50% of their foreign currency gained from export trade, private and non-governmental organization remittances. Besides, the policy raised bank customers' maximum foreign currency amount in their diaspora account from the previously 31.5% to 40%. National Bank of Ethiopia Financial Institution Supervision Deputy Governor Solomon Desta on his part said that the tight monetary policy forces banks to start technology-oriented consistent system which helps them to know their customers well and effectively run the activities in their banks. The policy also allows the Development Bank of Ethiopia to sell bonds to banks, insurance and pension institutions to increase its revenue, it was learned.
You're watching Amhara Media Corporation, Amhara TV News, and now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate and karat rate. That's all we have for now. I am Gaila Damu. Many thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.